Do you want to live in Europe without investing into a golden visa program? The good news is that there are options that may work for you without investing a ton of money. If you're from outside the European Union, let's say you are American, Canadian, Australian, Singaporean, Hong Kongese, Malaysian, you're from the United Arab Emirates, doesn't matter where you're from, unless you're from the European Union, you do need some kind of long-term visa to stay in the EU. What options do you have? Well, before I'm going to tell you about your options, I want to discuss briefly what I personally think about the golden visa programs that so many European countries are now offering. I personally think that investing a large amount of money, like 500,000 euros, into real estate is a big gamble because you don't know what direction the market will go, plus you don't know the market. And even if you have a couple million bucks, investing €500,000, which is roughly $550,000, $570,000 into just one property is a lot of risk to me personally. Well, you could argue that, well, I am pretty sure that I want to live in Europe and I'm going to bring my family along. And so purchasing a family home, is okay for me. If that's the case and you have the kind of money and you still have more money behind, meaning you can afford to lose the money that you spend on the property in Spain. I mean, you're not going to lose it, but you may lose it if the market tanks, right? If the real estate market should go the other way, you may end up losing money in case you are forced or want to sell the apartment, the house, whatever you decide to buy. What I'm trying to say here is that 500,000 euros or more is a lot of money for anybody, even for a person that has a couple million bucks. Even if you have 3 or 5 million bucks, 500K is a lot of money to risk in just one property. And while it is a way for you to get in, what other options are there? The obvious option is to do visa rents, which works like this in Europe. You're allowed to stay 90 days within a 180-day period, meaning you have to leave and you cannot spend a single day more than that within a 180-day period. There are no exceptions, and if you try to cheat the system, you may end up getting banned from entering Europe in the future, from entering the EU in the future. If you want to risk that, then by all means go ahead, but if you want to play it safe, then you may want to pay very close attention to what I'm about to tell you. What you can do is you can spend 90 days or a little bit less than 90 days in a European Union country, leave the country and go to a place like Bosnia, Serbia, Albania, Montenegro, or Kosovo and stay there for 90 days. Or, you can even spend more than 90 days between some of these countries that are not part of the EU. And then what you can do is you can go back to the European Union and stay there for another 90 days. Here's the thing. Just a couple months ago, we actually had more options on the plate, meaning we had Ukraine, Belarus, Georgia, and now somebody could argue, well, I can still go to Georgia, it's still a safe country. I wouldn't really say that. Given Russia's aggression in the region, even though they haven't really continued their invasion of Georgia, 20% of Georgia's official territory is occupied by Russia's military. That's 20% of the territory just stolen like this. So if you want to go to a place like this where you have to fear that a war could break out any moment, or if you want to invest in a place like this that could easily turn into Russia's territory overnight, then by all means go ahead. But if you want to play it safe, I recommend you to stay out of Belarus, Ukraine, Moldova probably as well, and also Georgia. Stay out of those countries. You can visit them, but pay very close attention to the situation in Eastern Europe. I would say that places like Serbia, Bosnia, Albania, Montenegro are probably safe bets, and that's what you could do, right? You can spend time in those countries, and then once you are again eligible to return to the European Union, you go there and spend another 90 days there. You could do that. It's technically legal to do it, and it's a legitimate process that you can use. And I know that many North Americans are using this process because they simply can't find a way to stay in a country for the long term, which leads us to the second option, which is always to start a business and get some kind of a long-term visa through it. If you can employ yourself, if you can put some money into the business, but again, The thing here is that countries operate differently. What may work in a place like Slovenia, if you get residency in Slovenia, may work differently in Germany or Portugal. The requirements are different depending on the country you are applying for. It's very different. And that's something that you can do. Again, it's going to require legal paperwork, compliance. And if you want to go down this path, I would only recommend it if it's really a legitimate business that you intend to open, keep, and run in order for you to make money, in order for you to pay taxes, and in order for you to keep this visa up and running. Otherwise, I don't think it's a good idea. Another thing that you can do is apply for a student visa. Here's the process for getting a student visa. Well, first of all, you have to find a university that can offer some kind of accredited program that is eligible, that would allow you to get a long-term study visa. Now, this study visa is not forever, meaning it's not going to be forever like citizenship by investment, like residency by investment. It's not as sound as anything that involves a large capital investment in a country, but it's still something that you can use in order to stay in the country for maybe 1 to 5 years, and while you're there you can work on a different visa. Anyway, I'm just throwing options at you, but if you're somebody who wants to study in a European Union country, then you may as well want to take a look into some of the study programs that exist and check them with your embassy. Make sure that would allow you to get the visa. Make sure you meet the qualifications. In some instances, you do need to have a diploma. And in case you didn't graduate in your home country, it may not work. So make sure you check all the requirements before you apply and spend too much time on it. Some would argue that the path of least resistance is residence by marriage. And I have to agree. Like, if you met a girl, if you met a guy, and things are going well, and you want to live in Europe, then by all means, walk down that aisle, get married, get the visa through marriage. That's a proven way to get residency. It's as sound, it's as strong as if you did the residency by investment program. There's really no difference. It's a legitimate option that may work for anybody who has already a girlfriend or boyfriend, that is from the EU, and you want to make things even closer between the two of you. And that would be a way for you to also remain in the region for the long term. Where would you like to live in the European Union? And what do you think about the options we just discussed? Leave a comment below and let us know. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'm uploading new videos on digital nomad locations, travel updates, visas, crypto advice, and business advice several times a week right now. I highly recommend that you grab a free copy of my ebook, Nomad Elite, the Insider's Guide to Retaining a Life of Freedom. All you need to do is click on the link below the video. And if you got some more time left, check out these videos. Thank you for watching.